Our final inductee is Suzanne Bartole, who is cool and calm as she is talented. You know, I can remember years ago when Suzanne was an editor at NBC7, and I said, Suzanne, you see that good-looking guy over there in the plaid shirt and the tight jeans and the homespun personality? That's Ken Kramer. Go talk to him. I predict big things for the two of you. Ken is here to introduce Suzanne. He really needs no introduction. I'm honored to do this, Ken. But for the record, Ken Kramer is creator and co-producer with Suzanne of Ken Kramer's About San Diego. These two have worked together since they were hired at about the same time back in the 1990s at NBC San Diego. Ken himself was inducted into the Silver Circle in 2004 and has been a part of the San Diego radio and TV landscape since his days at KPBS Radio, student assistant at San Diego State. Go Aztecs. Ken, come on up.
You need a minute?
Do you?
Sure.
Let's see if we can make this work again.
Yeah, thank you. I'm actually happy to be last. I know you were trying to get Carrot Top or Eric Estrada, but they weren't available while he's doing that. And Phyllis, I have kept a lot of your memos about my hair too over the years. It's been many of them. You know, I am thinking about Suzanne as she is here today, and I'm kind of guessing that her thoughts are, don't make a big fuss over me. Don't make me a big deal. That's her job. I mean, throughout the time that I have known her, she has always said, look, I'm about making other people the center of attention. Don't make me the center of attention. It's not what I'm about. Well, I'm very sorry. That's what we're going to do today. Suzanne has said to me so many times, I like being at the center of attention. I do not like being the center of attention. And again, I'm so very sorry. But you really are a big deal, and you deserve this honor today. I don't know if any of you have had the opportunity to see Suzanne's orange room at her home. But she has a room that's decorated in orange. But the thing about it is that it's just from one end to the other, just completely covered with awards. She's got Emmy Awards, and she's got awards for her work with different organizations related to public administration, and on and on and on. And I know that this one is going to occupy a very particular place in her orange room. And why does she have so many of these awards? Why is she so honored? It's because she goes just that little extra step. And I will be working with her, and we will think we have something just perfect. We've got it done just perfectly. And then she'll say, but it needs something else. It needs a little something else. I'm going to get together with Leslie Pinka. I'm going to get together with somebody, and we're going to add a little something just to make it that little bit better. And I think it is that quality that makes her work so unique and so remarkable. And it's true, all the different things that she does. And if you're fortunate, like I have been, to have her stage a birthday party for me, or a book launching, Rich, or any of these other events, including these workshops for public administrators, she will always do something a little extra. She'll make it just perfect. She'll have everybody there. She'll coordinate everything. And then she'll say, it needs something else. I'm going to give everybody a rubber duck. And I'm not kidding. She will give everybody a rubber duck. In fact, I often think of her as the mother of the rubber duck, which you have to say very carefully, I might add. But just some things about Suzanne that I have never seen. I have never seen her miss a deadline. She just doesn't do it. I've never seen her say, oh, you know, this project really isn't that important. I don't see that this makes a lot of sense. I'm going to just kind of dog it. I'm not going to do that good a job. She doesn't do that. It's always an A, and then with that little extra something, it's that A+. And I've never seen her lose her temper, ever. And I can be pretty challenging to work with. It is truly a wonder that she has not killed me. Although the afternoon is young. It's entirely possible. People say to me all the time, "You are so lucky. You get to work with Suzanne Bartole." And it's true, I really am. I am so very lucky. We have this relationship when we're working, doing About San Diego. We were talking about this the other day. And I'll say, "Can you just bring the," she's already done it. "Can you turn the sound up?" She's already done it. "You know, I'd like you to," she already knows. She's one step ahead. And when you have that kind of relationship, you know, with someone that you're working with, it is so precious and so wonderful, and I'm so honored to have that be true. Your work, Suzanne, is so exquisite. The light that you bring to every project is so special. I'm not kidding, and I'm going to say this to members of her family, to the KPBS people, to all her friends here, because KPBS will every once in a while approach me and say, "Hey, do you think you could do some more about San Diego's? Because you know I'm retired." And I'll think about it, and then I'll think, well, Suzanne's going to be working with me. And I am telling you, that is what makes the difference. Being able to work with Suzanne is why I continue to do the show. Without exception, absolutely. I think it's also quite remarkable that Suzanne's accomplishments and career have all been within this market. That is not common. You know, quite often photojournalists and others go to other markets and they make their way back to San Diego. She has ridden that wave, and her accomplishments have happened here within this city. When you get this award, when you receive this award, it's not just a 25-year certificate. You get this because you've been in the industry for 25 years. You have made a significant contribution to television. That's what it says. And that's what she has done. And I am so honored to call her a friend and a colleague, and to be a part of that special kind of synergy that makes everything she touches just that little bit better. And I will end with this little rubber duck that I'm going to leave up here for you, as it is my tremendous honor, Suzanne Bartole, to be a part of inducting you into the Silver Circle. I'm really proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, Suzanne Bartole.
Stay up. Okay. How's it sound? I thought I was going first, so, you know, every time I wasn't, I'd have a bite of salad or something like that. Okay. Thanks, Ken. Wow. When I heard I was getting this award, I started thinking about the path that got me here, especially the beginning. When I was in 8th grade, one day the teacher wheels a TV into the room and says, "Today we're going to watch a show made by your classmates." And I remember when the names came up in the credits, that was the moment. I knew this is what I want to do. So in 9th grade the next year at Mira Mesa High School, I enrolled in the video program, and I did that for the next 4 years. When I was at SDSU, I got a job at SeaWorld in the Technical Services Department. And I worked there 3 wonderful years in Shamu Stadium doing video. And I want to thank Shay, Cindy, and Cherie, who are here today. We all met at SeaWorld in Technical Services over 30 years ago. We all turned, I think, 21 while we worked at SeaWorld at some point. One day I heard NBC was going to be creating a morning newscast. So I applied, and I got hired as the overnight video editor. I worked 1 a.m. to 10 a.m. It was really horrible, actually. My salary was $32,000 a year, and I seriously thought, I'm rich. What I really wanted to be was a photojournalist, so I would start going out after my shift at 10 a.m. with different reporters and photographers who were nice enough to let me tag along, teach me the ways. And eventually I started covering shifts on the weekends, and I used my vacation to go to the NPPA workshop in Norman, Oklahoma. One morning when I was getting off work, there was a fire, and they were getting the chopper ready. And this is before, drones and gyroscopes, so somebody actually had to go in the helicopter with a big camera to shoot the fire. And this day, none of the photographers could do it. I don't know why. No one was available, and I remember Greg Stickney pointing at me across the newsroom. And they sent me, and I remember getting there, and the seatbelt was one of those airplane seatbelts that you can just undo with your finger, the latch. So he takes this gaffer's tape and tapes up the seatbelt, takes the door off of the chopper, hands me this big camera, and then I'm in a helicopter for the first time, shooting my first fire. After 3 years of this really sleep-deprived life, I finally became an official photojournalist. And I want to thank some people in this room that really were so nice to me while I was so green. Rory Devine, Artie Ojeda, Paul Kruger, who had to go, Greg Dawson, Donna Stewart, and of course, Ken Kramer. Thank you for helping me and just with your patience at the beginning there. I was encouraged to find stories on my own time. And there was a late night jazz jam session happening downtown. I was able to borrow a camera and a microphone, but I had no lights. So I remember kind of just finding some random construction lights. And this was the 90s, so I got a lot of colorful gels. And I cut patterns out on cardboard to make my own gobos. And I remember while I was shooting, being afraid the cardboard was gonna catch on fire. And Angie, you were on that shoot with me, I'm pretty sure. I won my first Emmy Award for this story, and it was for lighting. I would eventually work at Fox 6, which of course doesn't exist anymore. I would co-create the Sam the Cooking Guy show and shoot, edit, produce the first 72 episodes, and end up at the County of San Diego Communications Department, where I am today. And I want to thank my boss, Tammy Glenn, who is here today. We met at NBC, by the way. I love what I do, and I love who I do it with. I'm so thankful to the many colleagues and friends who have helped me get where I am today. There have been a lot of great times in this career. I feel like I've got to do things that I would, never be able to do otherwise. Landing on an aircraft carrier, with that hook landing. Flying in many more helicopters. Even once up to a glacier in New Zealand, making martinis on the ice. Swimming with sharks in the Dominican Republic. Kind of a last-second thing, and Angie Carson came with me very last minute. Thank you, Angie, for helping me on that shoot and lots of other shoots. Ken and I just sailed on the Star of India. Ken, it means so much to work with you on Ken Kramer's About San Diego. I think we're a wonderful team. Thank you to Jill Linder and Nancy Worley from KPBS who are here. We love making the show. Thanks, Ken, for coming out of retirement a lot. We have some more shows coming. I'd like to recognize my family who's here, my mom, Lorraine, my dad, Rich, my sister, Shannon, my brother-in-law, John, and my friends who have always supported me in this career. Most of you have converted your houses to shooting locations, loaned me your children to be in videos, starred in videos yourselves, and helped me on so many shoots. I always like to, I don't know, the more the merrier, you know, it's fun. And I'm so happy that you're here today. Andy, who had to leave, Lewis, Sarah, Ia, who we met, you know, in 7th grade. We became friends in 8th grade. We hated each other the first year. Leonard, Tara, Sandy, my partner in crime. We work at Legoland together. We freelance there for forever, like 20 plus years. Terry, I can see you kind of behind Tammy's head. Marianne, Jackie, fellow Silver Circle recipient. And Leslie Pinka, I don't know what I would do without your graphics and your creativity in everything you touch. Jerry Shane, who always supports me in whatever project I'm working on. Thank you to Doug Friedman, DJ Summit, Mary Ellen, and Ina for making this event happen today. So I always say this job is like having a front seat to life. Whatever's going on, I get to be right there at the center of it. And hopefully people are looking at Ken and not me while we're shooting. I feel so lucky to have found a career that I love. Congratulations to my fellow recipients, and I'm honored to be included. Thank you.